All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Monday, April 29th, 2024. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. Well, it take long, did it?
Hey, what's up, Glenn? Guess who's back? Fired again. Well, from what I hear, Glenn, you're not the only one that got fired this weekend. So,
At least one, maybe more. Who knows?
oh man. All right, I had a long weekend. We didn't. Well, last time we did a show, I think was Wednesday.
Yes.
For this, I think I went 5. Yeah, I went 5-3 on my picks on Wednesday.
I think it was something like that, but I don't remember. I'm gonna look real quick.
I was
Yeah, I went 5-3. I'm 280 and 204 right now.
I went 5-3. I was 1-1 in the NBA on Wednesday, 3-0 in Major League Baseball, and 1-2 in hockey. And we didn't have shows Thursday or Friday because Thursday we had to do some traveling to go take equipment, and Friday we was at the Indianapolis PopCon.
We had a lot of fun, man. It was great. Wasn't quite as big as Comic-Con, but it was still they put on some great shows and still had some pretty good crowds.
Oh yeah,
a lot of fun. How's it going, Apoxu Jones?
Yeah, what's up, Jones? Glenn said he missed the show yesterday. I figured to have some fun with it. He went down early for the Pacers game. Big win for the Pacers last night.
If they can play defense like they've been playing, they can be competitive in the playoffs. I mean, moving forward, if they get past Milwaukee, they can be competitive.
What pisses me off about it is I honestly believe that the Pacers, and you know this, and I know a couple other people that do. I said before the playoffs started, I thought Pacers could beat the Bucks. I really believe that. Well, now all you hear, all you heard, all you see on the internet, and all you hear on the radio, especially like last night right after the game was, Pacers are only winning because the Bucks don't have Giannis, and then they lost.
You knew that was going to happen.
And they don't have Dame, and another guy got thrown out. It's like, okay, but hey, that's
the Lakers or excuse me.
I hate to say it, but injuries are part of it. Being healthy at the right time of the year is part of being able to make a playoff run. That's one point. The other thing is, if you look, the Pacers had beat the Bucks, had played well against the Bucks during the regular season. I think they were 4-1.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree, Jones. A win's a win.
Yeah, I agree with that. But the other thing is too, and I'm not saying it would maybe it make a difference, maybe it don't. Let's face it, Milwaukee screwed up for whatever reasons, they fired that coach, and they haven't been the same since. They only had 13 losses. They was like 30-13, and
Well,
now they're under 500.
If you ask me, they screwed up last year when they fired Budenholzer, fired the coach they did have that took them to the championship.
Yeah, I agree. The management there is what the problem is there, and whether players was complaining, I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, they've made some bad decisions.
Sounds like they're letting Giannis run that team, is what
it could be,
from what I get out of what I've heard. But no, if Pacers keep rebounding and playing defense like they have the last couple games, they can make a run. Lakers, I think Lakers get beat tonight, Tanner.
Hopefully. Put them out of their misery.
They were able to pull off that win the other night, but I don't know if they'll be able to get another one tonight.
It'd be awful tough for them to come back and win that series.
Win 4 in a row against Denver is going to be real tough.
I mean, that's not impossible, but it's pretty close.
Tanner Popcorn was good. Got a lot of good wrestling. What was it, 13?
13 shows, 61 matches. Had a lot of fun. Tanner, I hope you're feeling better. Tanner got hurt. I think before the show, during some training, he had to have a bunch of stitches in his leg.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that you did, but I thought I'd bring it up. So hopefully you're feeling better. But I just seen a picture, which I knew about it because Marcus had told me. But yeah, he had quite a few stitches. It looked like quite a few shots too. So that's not good.
Yeah, that's what won them. They tried to blow that game Friday, but that's what ended up winning them that game Friday was the offensive rebounding.
Yep.
Especially that stretch you're talking about there in the toward the end of the fourth quarter.
Oh, Poxley thinks Lakers are winning tonight too.
Well, if Jamal Murray, because I guess he's injured a little bit. If he don't get to play, that does help the Lakers out. But I even if they win tonight, I still don't think they're going to win the series. I was winning 4 in a row. I think it's going to be a pretty tall task.
So now you think it's time to start? You think people are going to start taking the Timberwolves and OKC more serious now? I mean, I think they took them a little serious, but that was the regular season. Now we're in the playoffs, and they're playing really well, both teams.
Yeah, I think OKC. I think people are still going to want to see what they do in the second round because of what people are going to say about them. And I'm not saying it's fair, but they're going to say kind of the same as what people are saying about the Pacers. They might not have got, or New Orleans would have been a tougher matchup for them if they wouldn't have lost Williamson. OKC's young, but I mean they're a good team. I don't see them winning the Western Conference this year, but they could get in the conference finals. The Timberwolves, they just pretty much manhandled the Suns for the most part. Suns just couldn't get anything going. It was a close game last night, but then the Suns come out. Durant and some of their guys come out there whining about coaching and blaming on everybody but themselves. But the Timberwolves, I don't know if either one will be able to get by Denver if Denver's healthy. But I think they both are maybe going to change the narrative on them a little bit because this is what both of them was they never really didn't have much playoff experience, and it looks like they might get that this year.
Looks like the NBA, at least to me, seems like, and I'm not a huge NBA fan, don't watch a lot of games, I'm going to be straight up honest. Not enough defense, not enough ball movement for me, but Pacers fan definitely. It seems like the young guard looks like coming in. I mean, looks like the older players are, Golden State, Lakers. I mean, they're all getting older. They're not the teams that they were. Suns are struggling. Other than maybe Boston, it seems like the young guns, like with some of the Pacers players, some of the Timberwolves, some of the OKC, seem like that they're taking over. What do you think?
Yeah, you're starting to see some of the young guys start to get some bigger names for themselves. But I think the problem with the NBA has right now with that is your biggest stars was LeBron, Steph, them guys. But we really don't have a United States born player that has stepped up and kind of took over. If you look right now, a lot of your biggest stars are uh, foreign players like Luka, Jokic, a lot of Wembanyama, a lot of guys that people consider to be like the best players in the world are mostly foreign players now. There's not. I think the NBA needs that United States born player to step up and kind of take over. And I think Anthony Edwards is starting to kind of do that.
But the guy from the Knicks,
Alexander's
but the guy
from
from the Knicks,
OKC. Brunson
Brunson's heading that way, maybe.
Yeah, I think he's really good. But I don't know if he's going to be at the level of like a Edwards or a Gilchrist Alexander.
Could Halliburton head that way?
I hope so. I kind of thought the way that when you looked at the middle of the season going into the in-season tournament and everything, and that run he got on, but I think he had 24 last night. I think the only thing that holds him back a little bit to me is sometimes he's not aggressive enough. Sometimes he's too team oriented, too passive. I mean, I like the way the ball moves, but there's sometimes where it's like, dude, you got to get your shots off if you're going to be you're going to be the man on this team. Oh, I'm glad. I'm happy that he came there, and Siakam has been good.
Siakam's been great.
Just think what the Pacers could look like if Mathurin was healthy.
I know it. It'd be crazy. They're a young team, and hopefully they can win this series, make it to the next round. I think they'd have a good chance against the Sixers or the Knicks, which right now it's kind of looking like the Knicks, but I think they'd have a good chance to make it to the conference finals.
Sixers' problem is they take Embiid out of the game and they put him on the bench to give him a rest, and they get killed. They're like plus 30 something with him on the court and like minus 30 something when he's off the court.
That's a big problem.
I mean, that's just Glenn's ready for Charlotte.
Yep. I'm actually excited for a couple of things this weekend. I'm excited for, of course, WWE pay-per-view. Excited for the Kentucky Derby. Always like watching that.
Yeah, that is this weekend.
Yep.
Almost forgot about forgot it was this weekend because I heard they were talking about earlier or last week on the radio and stuff, but I forgot it was this weekend coming up. Glenn says he's placing some bets. Clippers was able to battle back and get a big win last night, and Harden helped with that. But yeah, Clippers, man, if they could get Kawhi healthy, they're pretty deep. I think they could make a decent run, but they just seems like there's always there's always something going on there.
Yep. Seems that way. Well, Reds was it split this week 2-2 with Texas? Or did they lose the series?
I think they lost series 2-1.
Okay. Maybe the Philadelphia was 2-2. Series before.
Yeah, Philadelphia was 2-2.
Okay, yeah. Texas beat them. Okay.
Yeah, because there was 1-1. It was tied going into yesterday. They lost a close game yesterday, 4-3, if I remember correctly. Isn't that what it was? 4-3.
Yeah, I think we ended up coming back and scoring 3. It was got down 4-0 in the first inning, and we scored 3 in the sixth, and that was it. Something like that. Yeah, it's going to work out perfect. The pay-per-view's on at 1 Saturday, and then Kentucky Derby. Well, it starts early, but the main race ain't till
like 7
or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of stakes races, a lot of good races.
Yeah. Doesn't races start like at noon or something?
I think so.
Oh, all right. Tonight got some more NBA playoffs. Like I said, sports betting show we done was Wednesday. I was 5-3. That put me at 299 and 282 on the year. Still over 500, but not having near as good a year so far this year as last year. Tonight we have Boston Celtics, Miami Heat. Celtics are up 3-1, or is it 2-1? I think it's
3-1.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember if it's 2-1, 3. I think it's 3-1. Celtics are 10.5-point favorites.
It's 2-1.
So I was right. It was only 2. It's
2-1.
2-1.
Yep. They're in Miami.
Okay. Yeah, this is her second game in Miami.
And then we got the Thunder and Pelicans.
But
Lakers.
Celtics are 10.5-point favorites. I'm gonna go with the Heat at the plus 10.5. I think the Celtics win the game. But Celtics blew the Heat out the other night. I think this is going to be a more competitive game. Even though I think Celtics win, I think the Heat cover the 10.5. Then you have the OKC Thunder at the Pelicans. Thunder are leading this series, I believe, 3-1. The Thunder are 4.5-point favorites, minus 188 on the money line. Over unders at 207. I'm gonna go with the Thunder at the minus 4.5. And then Lakers and Nuggets. Nuggets are 7-point favorites at home. I'm going to take the Nuggets at the minus 7. One thing that is interesting, because if you looked at over-unders throughout the regular season, most of them were in like the 220s or higher. And tonight, there's none of the games are over-unders are over or even at 220. The highest one is 216.5 for Lakers Nuggets. Over-under for Thunder and Pelicans is 207, and Boston and Miami is 203.5. So that shows that even though there's still not a lot of great defense being played, there's more. It's a different level of defense in the playoffs and in the regular season. All right, you probably didn't do no NBA. Did you?
I didn't do no NBA. I almost did, and I seen the point spreads. I didn't like the spreads.
All right, NHL. I'm gonna go with in the playoffs there. I'm gonna go with the Panthers on the money line at home against the Lightning. Panthers are up in that series.
Yep.
I think it's either 2-1 or 3-1. And then I'm gonna take the Golden Knights at home on the money line against the Stars. And I think Golden Knights are up 2-1 in that series.
Knights are up 2-1, and Florida's up 3-1. Yeah, I'm going with the Panthers also money line and at home, and I'm also going with Vegas money line at home. They lost the last game at home in overtime. They need to win this one, take control of the series. Dallas is a dangerous team. I mean, Dallas was favored coming in, so my Knights need to get going.
Yeah, Dallas was only favored coming in because the Golden Knights sandbagged during the regular season.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't competing. I got a good friend that says it.
And then Major League Baseball tonight. A lot of games in baseball today. I end up going with 4 games. I'm going to take the Yankees on the money line on the road at the Baltimore Orioles. I like the pitching matchup for the Yankees in that game. I'm going to take the Washington Nationals at the plus 1.5 on the road at the Marlins. I think the pitching matchup favors the Nationals in that game. And the Marlins have struggled at home. They've only won 2 games at home so far this season. Then I'm going to take the Minnesota Twins on the money line on the road at the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox have just kind of been the whooping board of Major League Baseball.
I think they just won a series, though.
Oh, did they finally win a series?
I think they swept somebody.
Shit.
They're on a hot streak. You better watch it.
So I'm taking Twins money line there. And then tonight, we have a late game. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Reds money line on the road at the San Diego Padres. Padres have been Padres and Reds have had similar seasons. Reds have won a couple more games than the Padres. But I like the pitching matchup with the Reds having Lodolo on the mound tonight versus Waldron of the Padres. That game don't start till almost 10 o'clock tonight, but
I'm watching after the Raw.
So I'm gonna go with the Reds on the money line. So that's gonna be my 4 baseball picks.
I've got 4 Major League Baseball picks. Also, I'm gonna go with Miami at home money line against Washington. I'm gonna take Atlanta on the road money line against Seattle. I'll take Cincinnati money line on the road against the Padres, and I'm gonna go with the Dodgers money line on the road against Arizona.
right.
Your mom will be watching the Dodgers on one TV late, and I'll be watching the Reds on the other TV late.
I'll probably be watching the Reds unless I'm playing baseball with
I figured
Austin.
you watch the Lakers.
I'll probably watch a little bit of that game just hopefully watch the Lakers get beat. I ended up watching most of that Minnesota and Phoenix game last night after the Pacers went off because it was a close game. Because I was actually going to get on the game and play baseball with Austin, Stevie, and then I started watching that game and it was close. So I ended up finishing that game before I got in there with them for a little bit. And then I went to bed. I was tired. I ain't gonna lie, I was tired after that weekend. I woke up days sore.
We'll put you on the spot. Speaking of this weekend, what was your biggest takeaway from this weekend with Popcorn? I've got two.
My biggest takeaway?
Yeah, it could be a wrestler. It could be a match. It could be whatever you want it to be. Actually, I got three things. I could probably put up about 20 things.
One is I'm going to say this, and no, hopefully people don't take this the wrong way, because no disrespect to anybody. But one thing which I think I already knew, I already knew, but I think it was even brought out more again, especially after what happened, what we done with them last month, and into this month. I think it just put more in my head that WCWO is probably the best and one of the strongest promotions in Indiana. Yeah, and just the things they do. I don't know if there's any, and like I said, I'm not taking a shot at anybody, but just when you watch the way they work as a family and the things they're able to accomplish. I mean, I watched, and I don't think he'll get mad at us say this. I watched these guys find out that there was a problem with the ring. Basically, almost tore it down to just basically the frame, and get it back together and everything ready in less than 45 minutes. Nobody panicked.
No,
it was like, hey, we got to do this, and boom, everybody was on it. Another thing is their training school. You see these rookies coming out of the school, the way they're performing. I mean, I saw a guy make his opening match. We didn't get to see his opening match, but he made his debut match on Friday night because we at the dub after PompaCon. So we didn't get to see it, which I have saw it because I watched it on video. But then we watched that same guy wrestle 4 or 5 times over the weekend at PopCon in front of, I'm not saying it's a huge crowd, but pretty good crowds for the first time. And you could, if you didn't know that was his first 5 matches, you wouldn't have known.
No. Well, they announced it to the crowd about some of the rookies and how much time they had in, and the crowd couldn't believe it, and with some of the guys.
And the other thing is, I think it even put it in my head more. Wrestling can bring all kinds of different people together.
Yes.
I mean, there was people there that were wrestling fans. There was people there that wasn't necessarily a wrestling fan, but they came in to check it out, and then they'd come back for multiple shows because they were entertained. Yes. So that would be a few of the things.
Yeah. One thing on a wrestling side of it, as far as a competitor, last year I thought Comic-Con really made a couple guys. I mean, or they hit their stride, and now they really took off. And that was Adari and Zach Gates. Coming out of this one, I think the guy Belenko. I think he's only 8 months as far as wrestling matches. He did some training before that, but he is another one's getting ready to go. People wouldn't believe that he's only been wrestling 8 months matches. He looks like he's been wrestling 6-7 years. That's how good he is. And that was one takeaway. Another thing with the fans thing, watching, I get a kick out of it. And you know this, I've worked with kids for many years, and seeing some of the kids come in, and even some of the adults come in and see their eyes about pop out of their head of some of the stuff that they're seeing. They can't believe it, because it's different watching it live and watching it on TV. Whether it's, the WWE or you're watching an independent show, it's different. It's different, and it hits different. And that's why more people need to check out independent wrestling, man. It's fantastic. Them are two of the big things. And like you said about the family thing, WCWO is definitely a huge family. And we go to a lot of promotions, and all the promotions are good. I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but WCWO definitely hits different. And I think it's because of the school and the training and everything, they're together so much. and also the respect
Well,
that they have
yeah.
for Joey is and the love that they have for Joey is also a big
Well, they run,
big factor.
and I think some of that is because they run it since they run every Friday night.
Yes.
They're always together. So you know what I mean. They're always together. So I think that's one reason why it seems like such a close family because they got shows at the Dub every Friday night, and then all the road shows they've been doing. I mean, they're always have something going on.
And then Joey has a team sometimes taking rings to other places and setting up rings and for other shows. So I mean, it's definitely a huge family. Yeah, definitely support all independent wrestling, all wrestling for like Hypocrisy says there's support wrestling, but because there's great shows. Heck, there was like 10 or 11, 12 shows this weekend, maybe more. So a lot of great wrestling out there. So definitely support it. We definitely support it. We want all shows and all companies and all wrestlers to do well. We had a blast. I know that.
We'll talk a lot. We'll talk more about that tonight on GWR at 6:30. So join us tonight for that. But did you have anything else for today?
I think I'm good to go. I'm ready to eat.
But we appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, join us tonight 6:30 p.m. Eastern for GWR. Marcus Fine will be joining us like always, and then also tomorrow evening we'll have pro wrestler superstar TJ Powers.
Oh man.
Been in the business for almost 40 years. Has wrestled with WCW and WWF back in the day. A lot of knowledge there and a lot of stories and stuff. He's going to join us. I'm sure it'll be a great. Sure, it's going to be a great conversation with him tomorrow night.
Wrestle with Dick the Bruiser too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the last Dick the Bruiser guy that's still wrestling.
Yep.
I found that out this weekend.
Yeah, I knew that because Marcus had told me.
Well, I knew he was a Dick the Bruiser guy, but I didn't realize he was the last one.
Yep, last one left.
But I found that out. I heard some. I'll tell you what. I talked to TJ quite a bit this week. I got to hear some interesting stories and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
Well, I'm just taking a guess. This is probably going to be part 1 because he's got so many stories. We'll probably definitely have him on again because he's got story after story.
You can talk with TJ for days. I found that out some over the weekend because I was outside talking to him for a while. We could have just sit out there all day.
And that's the other thing. Some of these guys, TJ looks like he's got a rough exterior. But if you're a young guy out there wrestling, if you want to get some knowledge, talk to a guy like TJ. He could teach you a lot. I guarantee that.
All right, 10-part documentary.
Probably could.
Well, we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like, follow Facebook, Twitch, X, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room as well. And we'll see you guys tonight at 6:30 for GWR.